Hey humans, Real Jacob here. Just had court in 25 CM10 and 25 CM27. That's in Vernon County, Wisconsin. That's where the cops are charging me with harassment and disorderly conduct. Only law enforcement are the complainants. I know. 70-80% of you are shaking your heads right now like, hey, isn't that protected free speech? Just like 70 or 80% of the people I talk to say the same thing. That's protected free speech. But no, Vernon County's go ahead and proceeding with the case. Marquette County dropped out. They had 9 charges of unlawful use of a telephone, threats involving profanity, even though I threatened nobody. Yeah, they were just relying on the profanity part. So profanity towards law enforcement. They also had 1 charge of harassment. They dropped those charges after I did a... while I was in their custody, it was 14 and a half days. My total was a 16-day, 5-hour hunger strike. And on day 14, they had to take me to the hospital, and I refused treatment. And then they took me back, and then they dismissed the charges. Actually, they moved to dismiss the charges. The judge decided not to right away, set it out, tried to squeeze me a couple more days. I even got bond posted during that time, but I wasn't going to cave in. Anyway, today, I stood mute. They entered no not guilty pleas, and I invoked my right to a speedy trial by jury. The judge unofficially, I mean, I guess it's on the record, but he didn't put an order for discovery, but he told them to produce it in short order. So we had a status August 28th at 11:30. This time he said I could do it by Zoom. So he really badgered me today, in a punk kind of way. You probably watch my videos where I kind of run him down. So, he said, I think he said my hubris was astounding, I have similar statements, his livingness is enthralling. But, no, he tried to, yeah, I could tell he was getting emotionally carried away, but I wasn't taking any of his bait. He asked me all these questions I wouldn't agree to. I wouldn't agree that I get treated like any other attorney. I'm going to have to find the case law on that. But he, in the end, says, you understand that I'm going to treat you like that. And so he kept telling me what I was saying was wrong. And I said, well, I can't understand what you're saying is right. So also that the court clerk doesn't have to tell me procedure. He said they could, but they're not required to. In other words, there's no law that says that the court clerk has to tell you procedure. You could walk in and say, hey, how do I do this? And they could just say, we don't have to tell you. We could, but we're not going to. So he's saying that they can do that and wanted me to agree to that. And I'm like, that's not true. And then he wanted me to give up my constitutional right to an attorney. And that's the way he said it. Do you understand you're giving up your constitutional right to an attorney? I said, well, no, or maybe for this hearing. And this gets really the guy going. It's all on the record. Like I said, 25 CM10 and 25 CM27. They're both linked now in Vernon County. Anyway, I got 2 separate charges in Monroe County. And the first judge I got substituted, so they gave me the substitute judge. And then when they charged me again, they said, well, let's just link this with the substitute judge. Well, guess what? I'm getting him substituted. Those cases will not be linked. They will have to give me 2 separate jury trials. And this is what they wanted. So this is what they get. As I like to tell them, just be glad when you can hang up on me. Because once I'm inside, you can't hang up.